I like that high. I was getting over cold.
Anyway, you are. Yeah, no. I'm moving us tent. Hi.
That's a good day here, like not.
Well, apparently there's a rather bad snow blowing in Meadville. So the better part of valor was to
What? Yep. There two
well, cold's not as bad as cold doesn't make the car go all over the road.
I've been there in cold the last couple weeks.
Yeah, cold is not the problem.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh. What is this big screen here?
Right, we turn it on.
Do you need another screen?
Sorry?
You need another screen, Temple?
Well, we just bought it.
You need another one, is what I'm asking. I might have a 65 that I've been.
Oh.
Give away.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna ask my camera first. It will not do YouTube correctly. It stops in the middle. I can't still ever make sure. I had it for 4 years. It worked for me. I make sure. I found it. I'm gonna go get it tomorrow. It is.
Not so smart.
I don't know. I'll go out tomorrow.
Sam's Club, amazing.
Yeah, I'll just go right after. Maybe I'll buy it online.
I mean, it was really good. I understand how cheap they are, but
Well.
I think it was like $800 for a 100.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just amused because, if you look at ads for the first one,
Right.
there are 9 inches. A 9-inch film. But.
My sister. Shirts
My mother was the very last holdout. My mother was the last holdout on the black and white TV. I was 14. Well, this is 1982. Goodbye, John. It was 93 where she had a car with automatic doors.
All right. It's a big. Giant, look like a giant bowl of. If you see a line and then ceiling's coming down, it's like this big below here. Yeah. I don't know.
So we can, yeah, maybe after country.
How are you doing?
Good. Be right past. So.
Oh.
Fascinated to be here.
You're the way that you're at, you hope so. Okay. From that, we grab the spot I want, so that's the way. Oh, the other ones? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, well, that's the way that's. No, well, these are all old. Okay, our next that's going forward.
Oh.
Some of this.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Last time we went to. Yeah. Scandinavian. Wine. Yes. Yeah. Hi guys. I'm well, how are you doing? Yes, you know, yeah. I don't think I'm going out of the house tomorrow, you know. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Yeah. All day, like starting tonight, or like how about starting to take like. I'm supposed to be this, I told them we're going to start tomorrow. This one. Should be a promotion, will be that more here. I said, okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. We heard that's good. It don't matter. It's like 30, you know, it's like later. I don't want.
Oh, yeah, they don't have. Yeah.
You want to take it? Right. Okay.
Very attached.
I'll survive.
Problem with everything else, talking about.
Yeah.
You say where you been?
That's all we're on.
Honestly, I have the attitude of where you shut it off.
Oh my. Oh, you know, I did it last week. Now.
Just hold on, just what? Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
What was that? Okay, do it again, Jesse.
Oh,
Nothing gets by Edie.
hi, Riley.
So as you've noticed, or not, Jesse couldn't make it into us tonight because of some bad snow in Meadville. So through the miracles of Zoom, we are here together. And so we'll begin on page 2 as we light our Shabbat candles.
Okay.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Let's turn together to page 10 as we join in Hine Matov, how great it is for us to be together.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
And turning together to page 12, we join in the Chuna Ranana. Come, let us sing joyously to God.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzuri shenu, dekadma fav betoda. Naria, naria, litzuri shenu, Bizmi rod nahiralo, lechuneranena, 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 l'Adonai. Lechuneranena, 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 l'Adonai.
And on page 20, we continue with Lecha Dodi, that mystic poem in which we welcome our Shabbat bride.
Lecha, lecha, dodi, lekrat, kala, pene, shabbat, nekabela. Lecha, lecha, dodi, lekrat, kala, pene, shabbat, nekabela, la, 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 lecha, dodi, lekrat, kala, pene, shabbat, nekabela. Lecha, lecha, dodi, lekrat, kala, pene, shabbat, nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu elam yuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'liti la 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 lecha dodi, Likrat kala, pene shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene shabbat nekabela. Likrat shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, v'rosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat chila la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'letzora, Toch emunei segula, Boi chala, Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated as we continue. Page 22, Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, a psalm, a song for Shabbat.
Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, Uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chasdecha, ve'emunotecha b'leilos. Alei yasor v'alei Babel, Alehi Gayon Bechinot. Mizmor shir liyom השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Continuing on page 24, words and blessings of welcome. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'chem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We rise together as we turn to page 26 for Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadav Yitkadash Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad Yivarach Chirutei ve'amlich Malchutei. V'chayonu v'yomecha u'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman karif, mimaru, amen. Yehesh meraba mevorach, le'olam lo me'amaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitala, shemedi kudesha, leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, mimaru, amen.
Continuing on page 28, our call to worship, Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated as we continue with Yotzer Or in the English on page 31. Let's join together. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and tide and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven span to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Haravim. Page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Ota anu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shalchenu, U'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, Ve'orech yameinu, Uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla, Ve'ahavatcha tasir, Mimeinu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
And we rise for Shema, page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
And please be seated as we continue with Va'ahavta, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha, uv'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, Uchtavtam amzuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lachem l'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Our Song of Freedom, Mi Chamocha, page 40.
Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai mi chama ba elim Adonai mi chama nedar bakodesh Nora tehilo do sefele Nora tehilo do sefele
Malchut achara uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam ze Eli anu va'amru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'ne'emar kifada Adonai et Yaakov v'golo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Let's join together in the top of page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim Uvros aleinu sukat shlomecha Uvros aleinu sukat shlomecha Amen.
And on page 44, we join in Vishamru, thanking God for the wondrous opportunities of Shabbat.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם בני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise together as we turn to page 46, and we say together, Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Geula Lifnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav Hoshea, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekaye emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha b'gevurot u'midomelach, Melech mimit u'mechaye u'matzniach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, kadoshim b'chol yom yihalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated as we continue page 57. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael, ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land and Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 59. Modim anachnu lach, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Page 61, let's join together in our prayer for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Shalom Ram Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Ram Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon, Lecha shalom, ki atahu melech Adon, lecho hashalom. Shalom Ra'ah Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Ra'ah Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Ra'ah Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Ra'ah Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
We take some moments for silent prayer.
Ratzon imrefi imrefi vegion lipi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri vegoali vegoali.
We turn together to our prayer for healing, sending energies and prayers for healing for all those who need, and we turn to page 253. In our congregation, we think of Ross McCullough, Barbara Shapira, Marcia Koblitz, Eric Shabetta, Doug Botner, Louis Tenenbaum, Melanie Wood, Stephanie Willis, Irv Willis, Corinne Egan, Darlene Sharp, Steve, John Myers, Robert Unger, Jordan Kozweski, Michael Kroner, Carol Ford, Elliot Goldman, Alan Zimmer, Eliana Waite, Vera Shervetsky, Burko Shervetsky, Sam Bauer, Kara George, Ben Hackshaw, Manny Lowe, Sheila Ronis, Bruce McEwen, MM and RM, Ron Levin, Kendra Zaks, Leah Tirza Bat Avraham Vasara, William Parks, Callie Armour, Benson Rakusin, Barbara Schwartz, and Tony Raymond. If you're joining us via live stream and you would like to add a name, please add the name into our chat. And if you are here in person and would like to add a name as I look around, please do so.
Live in sorrows, it's very family.
We join together.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor habracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Or we could also say Shana Tova. It is the new year of the trees. Tu Bishvat, we call it. And Tu Bishvat arrives somewhat quietly. There's no shofar, there's no matzah, there's no crumbs in the corners, no fasting or costumes, no long lists of things to eat or not eat, just trees. And yet, our tradition treats this day as a turning point. The Mishnah names it Tu Bishvat and calls it really Rosh Hashanah Le'ilanot, the new year of the trees. Somewhere beneath the frozen soil, even here in Erie, things are about to begin. Sap will soon begin to rise. The future is on the horizon. We can almost see it, even though we hear the lake is 100% frozen for the first time in a decade or something. But we've always been good at noticing these quiet moments. The moments when nothing seems to be happening, and at the same time, everything is happening. There's a midrash, a story that imagines that the very first human being, Adam, was walking through the Garden of Eden with God. Picture it as a realtor going on a tour. Right, Corlin? Right? Can you imagine pointing out the benefits of the Garden of Eden? It's got a great kitchen. Don't worry about the tree in the courtyard. And here is God pointing out all the benefits. Every tree and every plant, all the growing things. And God says, see, look at all of these incredible things, how beautiful they are, how amazing I made them, and how worthy of praise they all are. And guess what, Adam? I created all of this just for you. But here's the catch. You also have incredible responsibility here. You have responsibility not to corrupt or destroy my world. Because if you destroy it, there's nobody to repair it after you. A story 2,000 years old. And yet it sounds completely contemporary. It articulates this important perspective that we Jews have, that the world is not disposable, that we humans are both powerful enough to ruin it, and we need to be responsible enough to treasure it and make sure that it remains viable. Now, we don't begin this environmental ethic with polar bears and carbon metrics and statistics. It begins with stories and relationships, with the idea that the earth isn't ours. We're just here for a brief time to be responsible to care for it. One of my favorite stories comes from Talmud, and it's the story of Honi Hamagal. Honi is walking along the road, and Honi is seen in the Talmud as kind of like sort of a cross between a wise person and a fool. But here he is walking along the road when he sees this old man planting a tree. And not only is he planting this tree, this old man is planting a carob tree. Now, if you know anything about carob trees, they take decades to grow and decades before they will bear fruit. So you have to have the long view. And here Honi sees this old man planting a tree and says, hey, how long is it going to take for this tree to produce fruit for you? And the man answers, well, it could be 70 years. And Honi laughs and says, hey, are you certain that you're going to be around to benefit from all of this? And the man says, for sure not. But I found a world full of carob trees. And so just as my ancestors planted them for me, I plant this for my descendants. It's a beautiful story. It's no miracle. It's no revelation. It's just a shovel and an old man and a future that he'll never see. And Tu B'Shvat asks us about the same questions. It's about really the same thing that Honi asked. Why bother planting something if you're not going to benefit? Well, that's really how we get here, right? This is who we are. We are focused on inheritance, not inheritance of money, but inheriting responsibility. We inherit Torah, we inherit land, we inherit traditions, we inherit the stories and the wisdom. We inherit this world planted in so many different ways by people who we don't know and people who didn't know our names at all. And every tree, every plant, every seed, every growth is an act of faith. Now, I know that someone will be here after me, and I hope that my actions matter beyond my lifetime. And if we all think of ourselves as being responsible not only to those who lived before us, but those who will come after us, it's a way that we can fully participate in that responsibility and really embrace the idea of bal tashchit, which is the Hebrew term used for this commandment of not destroying, not needlessly destroying something. Our rabbis take this and expand it and say, not only should we destroy something, we shouldn't waste anything. That we shouldn't treat our world as disposable. There's a striking moment in Deuteronomy when we talk about war. Torah talks about war quite a bit. And in this one section, it talks about when you go to war, you can go to war with people, but you can't cut down the fruit trees. You can't cut down the trees that give you food. And that's why we have a Shemitah. We have a sabbatical year when the land itself is given over to rest. And 1 year out of 7, we are supposed to let our land lie fallow, and we are not supposed to harvest from it. We're supposed to let it rejuvenate. The mystics of Tu B'Shvat, who created Tu B'Shvat, really taught that we should try different kinds of fruits. And tonight we'll have an opportunity in our oneg to try some fruit, have some different kinds of fruits. There's the fruit that is all edible and is completely eaten. There's the fruit that has a hard shell, but you can eat the inside. There's the fruit that has an edible outside and it has a pit in the middle. And there are many different interpretations for this, and one of them is that the world is filled with different kinds of people, and everybody has something to share, and everybody has something to contribute to us. So we too can be planters. We plant seeds all the time. We plant seeds of ideas. We plant seeds of values. Our congregation has been blessed. Our ancestors created endowments filled with seeds that enable us to do the incredible things that we do. And we continue to enhance those. We continue to add to them so that we can ensure the future. So in whatever way we're able to, we can all be that planter. We can plant trees and watch them and guard them and then hand them to the next generation. And may those who come after us, both here in our congregation and in the world, find our world enriched and filled with life. Chag Sameach. Shabbat Shalom. We will continue now as we turn to the Aleinu on page 282. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit ketula le'otze breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו את זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל והארץ מתחת עינו ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. I was going to do them after as we do blessings, but if you want to do them now, okay. Yeah. That was my plan during the blessing part. Yeah. Page 292. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those around us. The psalmist said that in his affliction he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. And thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. We are in the period of Shiva for Debbie Perry, and we extend condolences to Edie and Sindra and your entire family. We are also in the period of Shloshim for Jan Mendel. And on this Shabbat, we observe Yartzeit for Julius Horkheimer, Nina Sherman, Dina Levy, Rose Bernstein, Isaac G. Grabuski, Carl Luntz, Helene Neubauer, Albert Schuster, Morris Fox, Blanche Levy, David Lester, Isaac Cohen, Myrna Urkov, Rosalind Levick, Max Hess, Louis Heller, John Holter, Betty Gorman Levy, Francis Falk Oppenheimer, Janice Schuster, Herma Schack, Caroline Birnbaum, Irving Kalbeck, Pauline Jacobson, Karen Levy, Adam Levy, and Eva Salinas. If you are joining us via live stream and would like to add a name, please add the name into our chat. And if you are here in person, please add the name, any name you wish as I look around. We turn to the words of Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach ruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chai echon uvyom echon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lormet armaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Please be seated. I'd like to invite, who's doing announcements? Craig, you're doing announcements? Yes.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi, and Jesse, virtually. Thank you. No, I can see you there. Thank you. All right, announcements. There is a lot going on, and this is just a tidbit of what is going on. So please check your weekly emails that come out on Thursday, your temple topics. These are just some of the highlights. We'll hit them real quickly. First one, we are forming a memory book for Jan Mandel. And you're invited to share memories of Jan for her daughters and her family to cherish. Now, this may be a little bit confusing, but please call the office and they'll explain how how to share those memories and how you can get those to her daughters. We have an oneg tonight after service. Everyone is invited. There are no Shabbat morning services here tomorrow. They're going to be at Brit Shalom on State Street. So please don't show up tomorrow. We're not going to be here. Templehood game days, schedules in here. There's a lot of days going on. Templehood movie night, Tuesday, February 17th at the Erie Movie House on Westlake Road. Guns and Moses. Sounds interesting. So that is at 6:30, or the movie starts promptly at 6:30. So please be there at 6:15. We have the show Straight White Men at PACA on Saturday, February 21st. We have chair yoga starting on Tuesday, February 24th. And Rabbi is starting a new series, Talmud, Unlocking of the Secrets of Our Sages. That begins February 25th at 8 p.m. And as I said, there's a lot going on. Check your emails and your temple topics. And there's one item that is not on here that I did want to bring up. Tuesday, February 24th at 6:30, we're going to be having Stop the Bleed and active shooter training here at the temple. So that's going to be 6:30 on February 24th. Very important. Please make note of that. Please put that on your calendar and please be here. So Shabbat Shalom. Thank you very much.
Shabbat Shalom. Tu B'Shvat is a time of giving thanks. And so if there is anybody celebrating something wonderful this month, the month of February, come on up and join us and help us lead our blessings. Who's got a birthday and anniversary? Who wants to make one up? So when I was in Rochester, as a young assistant associate rabbi, and I was responsible for youth group, and it was a pretty big group, and we would often go to an event and then go out for dinner. And the kids got into this. One kid got this idea that whenever we would go out to dinner, they would make it my birthday. So wherever we went, oh, it's your, and they would bring a cake, and like every week. It was quite for years this went on. And then this kid would come back from college and like make sure all the other younger kids knew what was going. Yeah. It was very funny. Well, no, nobody's having something. Nobody wanted to get married in February. Is this, we got engaged in February. There you go. Okay, maybe it's a rabbi thing. My grandparents were married in February in the middle of war-torn Shanghai. Yep. My grandmother tells a story. It's my grandmother's yahrzeit tonight as well, so I'm kind of thinking about them. And my grandmother tells the story. Her father, in good Jewish tradition, was angry at the rabbi, and so he didn't want the rabbi to do the wedding. And so my grandfather arranged for the Italian consulate general to officiate at the wedding, except my grandmother knew zero Italian. So she explained the wedding like this. She said, I was standing next to your grandfather, and this guy was yapping at us in Italian. At some point, your grandfather went like this, I went like this, and we got married. So. In any case, there are lots of reasons to be thankful, especially for community and the love that we share. And so we'll join in our blessings. Turn back to page 5, and we'll join in Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu בשבת קודשו באהבה ורצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל עמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן.
חיים.
המוציא לחם מן הארץ. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for our oneg. We have wonderful fruits and wonderful treats. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.